Right. In today's session, we are going to discuss about what are all am I going to cover in context to the artificial intelligence and machine learning. Because in the last sessions, I have posted some of my class sessions and all everything. Hope you might have gone through all that. Wherein today I'm going to discuss about what is that something we try to cover, which I try to cover as far as A and ML learning is important because now and then both combinations are required. Artificial intelligence, learning of artificial intelligence, as well as machine learning, both are essentially becoming important. And hence, in this regard, it's always important for us to learn right from the basics because I could see many people who have enrolled for the course. I already because I have interacted with a couple of people, enrollees in the last batch also. I see many people are looking for some career transformation or something. So it's always uh, important for them to learn from the basics. Okay, so hence this AML course usually I have divided into three different parts. This is out of their comfort, out of their interest, so people can learn in three different parts because some people are looking for a complete transformation towards A and ML. Some people who are in the field of development and who wants to learn some basic, some standard topics. Some people who are into business analysis side wants to learn something different, right? So there is some customization which is always uh, which I always provide because anyway, some of the people were taking some customized training also based upon that need, based upon their needs, from the project level perspective or something of that. But when I am teaching, I made it out of convenience and all. I have made this into three different parts. One is about the foundation of artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is usually a kind of program, which is basic thing. And second about the core machine learning techniques. This is the second part. The third one about advanced topics and applications. These are the three different parts which I am offering, as you guys know. But let me repeat again the same. So, out of your interest, either you are learning for all the three parts, or first one, or second, or third, and all, that is of your convenience and all. Now, when I'm trying to understand about the foundation, as far as the foundation of artificial intelligence and machine learning is concerned, so wherein I start with the interview, I start with overview of ANML, right? So what is history, right? So basic, what are the different applications that we are using? Something like PyTorch or TensorFlow, right? So that's a foundation part generally will be covered. At the same time, we must have some idea over the types of machine learning, like what are the supervised as well as unsupervised or reinforcement learning, right? So how different supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. So that sort of understanding is something which I'm teaching in this. Next one about introduction about the Python for machine learning, because majorly for data analysis projects now and then we are using Python, as we know. So right from the basics of Pythons to advanced level Python. So wherein one should have some strong understanding over the installation part, at the same time strong understanding over the kind of IDs that we are required to set up, what are the basic syntaxes that are required to learn as well as to initiate so far. So this is all something which will be covered in the first week. So after that, in the second week onwards, I'm going to teach the Python as well as machine learning, right from the basics as well as with the data types, what are the different control structures, functions do we have, followed by this the kind of libraries in reference to the Python, right? So either it can be NumPy or Pandas for data handling. Along with this, what are the different data visualizations with the Matplotlib and as well as Seaborn, right? So all these things will be covered in the second week. When it comes to the third week, so this is about the data fundamentals, wherein understanding about the data, what are the different data types do we have, kind of sources as well as the cleaning of data, structured and unstructured data. It can be like understanding about the feature engineering by understanding the scaling and as well as encoding the imputations. At the same time, exploratory of data analysis, something like EDAs, all that stuff. This is all about data fundamentals, which I'm covering in the next week. Followed by that, the next one about the probability statistics and linear algebra. This is also something which is important because basic level of fundamental understanding over the statistics is always important. Hence, I'm teaching even that. Okay, so I already explained this for the people who have already for the couple of batches which I have taken. I've explained them, but still anyway, as you guys were new enrollees, so that hence I'm explaining these points again to you, right? So the one which I do for every batch, I'm doing the same thing for you as well. So that's what it was, right? So the next one about coming back to the point, some probability statistics and linear algebra wherein you will be learning about the basics of probability and statistics for machine learning. At the same time, should have some knowledge over linear algebra concepts, something like vectors or matrix or applications in ML. At the same time, we must have a understanding over the gradient descent and as well as optimization basics. All these things are comes under the fourth week. So these are the 4 different weeks which normally I'll be taken, right? So usually it's 3 days a week kind of, right? That's what generally I'm doing, as you guys know. So 3 days a week. So in the first 4 weeks, whatever are we going to learn about the foundation of AI and ML. So whoever is new to artificial intelligence and machine learning and who wants to make their career to artificial intelligence and machine learning and all, this foundation level course is fair enough, right? So this is sufficient. This is point number one. Second, when it comes to the core ML techniques, in continuation to that, so if anyone wants to have the full level core machine learning techniques and all, right? So I'll start with supervised learning, wherein you will be learning about the kind of regression models, linear and as well as polynomial regressions. At the same time, will be learning about the classification models, right? So what are the different logistics and as well as regressions, followed by the kind of decision trees do we have all that. Next, you need to have some understanding over the building regression and as well as classification model. This is all something part of supervised learning I'll be teaching. Next one about the model evaluation part, which majorly teaches about the metrics for regression and as well as classification, something like MSEs or accuracies or precisions and recalls, all that. Next, I'll be teaching you about training and testing the splits, cross validations, and overfiltering, or at the same time improving model performances. Everything will be part of model evaluation. Next, when it comes to the unsupervised learning itself is concerned, you will be learning about the clustering techniques, something like k-means or as well as hierarchical clustering and all. At the same time, dimensionality reductions and as well as PCS and TSNEs, all that. So understanding over the unsupervised learning from the practical perspective is always recommendable. This is what something I'll be teaching end of the time, right? So before I'm going to start the neural network basics and all, this is what something I'll be teaching you to have some practical understanding on that. So next is about the neural networks part. So introduction about the neural networks. Followed by this, we must be having some deep understanding over the architecture and as well as the concepts. Should have understanding over the activation functions, loss functions, backup propagation. So at the same time, building simple neural networks in Python, right? So this is all something will be part of neural networking basics is something which I'm covering, right? So this is the second module, I can say. More people who wants to learn first and second module, they can learn. The third module about the advanced topics for applications. This is always starts with deep learning because need to have some understanding over the deep learning followed by the kind of frameworks that we use as in the beginning I told you, right? So something like PyTorch, right? So TensorFlow, everything you will be discussing, I'll be discussing in this, followed by any CNN basics, something like convolutional neural network basics. At the same time, building in CNN, conventional neural networks, how this can be built. This is all part of deep learning that we are learning. Next one about the generative AI and NLP, right, wherein you will be learning about generative AI and as well as language models. What are the different large language models we have? Followed by this, what are the different NLP processes, basics that we are learning, followed by sentiment and analysis of the some practical understanding over the sentiment and analysis project. Everything will be part of generative AI and NLP I'm covering. Next one about the advanced AI techniques, wherein we'll be discussing about the reinforcement and as well as reinforcement learning of basics are something important to start with. Next, it must be continuation. You will be learning about transferring learning and as well as fine-tuning models. Followed by this, what is the explainable AI and as well as model interoperabilities do we have? Everything will be part of advanced AI techniques and all. Next one about the final one about some practical learning about the capstone project review that I'll be taking you. So we're in right from problem statement, right? So I'm selecting a problem statement from there onwards, how this can be implemented as a capstone project, how the presentations and as well as feedbacks for the projects that we take, capstone projects. All these things will be part of this capstone learning. This is all something which will be part of advanced topics and as well as applications for all about. This is all something which I am covering as part of artificial intelligence machine learning. These are the three different modules we have. The first one, as I told you, one is about the foundation part. Second one about core ML techniques and all that. So the third one about advanced topics and applications. So these are the three different modules which are the parts normally we have as far as AML is concerned when we are learning. So tomorrow we are discussing, as I already given you an overview, history, applications and all. Tomorrow I'm going to discuss about the types of machine learning, right? So giving some high level understanding over PyTorch as well as TensorFlow, right? So that part I'm going to cover from tomorrow onwards. Okay, right.